Here comes the danger up in this club. When we get started, man, we ain't gon' stop. We gon' turn it out till it gets too hot. Everybody sing, hey, yo. Tell them turn it out till they can't no more. Let's get this thing shaking like a disco ball. This is your last one and a courtesy call. Everybody sing, hey, yo. Tell them turn it out till they can't no more. Let's get this thing shaking like a disco ball. This is your last one and a courtesy call.
Yeah, what's up, y'all? I'm back with another What If video, and yeah, I decided to do another part to What If Deku had 100 healing. So yeah, so this is going to be my first time adding gameplay to the background. So tell me how you guys think about that. And so yeah, with that being said, let's just get into the What If. So yeah. So, Deku, he's left out his house because, it's kind of early. He gets in his morning runs. So, yeah, he's running and, he sees this art store. And Deku, he's like, why not I just go in there for a little bit and see if I like anything? Because, Naruto. I said Naruto. Deku loves to write music and just play on instruments all day, pretty much at his house. But he's not like a connoisseur for like guitars and stuff. Like he has like a couple of guitars in his room, but that's probably about it. So he heads to the art store, and so he asked one of the people, hey, can he just riff one up real quick? And the store owner's like, yeah, sure, but try not to play it for too long. And Deku's like, alright, bet. And, he grabs the guitar, electric guitar, I should be specific about that, and just starts riffing away. And, everyone, they're listening in on it. And, yeah, everyone there just enjoying the sounds of the electric guitar, because electric guitar sounds awesome. And this catches the attention of a certain someone, and this someone is Jero, who so happens to be in there. She wasn't looking for anything in particular, she just like looking around. And so she's hearing the commotion, hearing the electric guitar going off, which sounds awesome. And in her head she's wondering who's making these sounds. So, she's walking past a crowd of people, and she sees Deku on the electric guitar going crazy. And so, yeah, Deku, after a few more minutes of just going crazy at it, he stops and put the guitar back up. And when he had his back turned, he felt someone tap his shoulder, and he looked back and he sees Jiro. And he's like, can I help you? And she's like, yeah, I wanted to know, how'd you play that guitar so well? And Deku, he's like, well, I just have a taste for music, I guess. I'm guessing rock, the way how you've been playing the electric guitar. And Deku's like, I can like more than rock, but mostly, yeah, I do listen to rock. And she's like, alright, well, I guess I'll see you later. And Deku's like, yeah. I guess girls enjoy the fact that I can play music. And so, Deku, he heads out. Nothing too much is going to happen right then and there. Just a little interaction going on. So, Deku, he looks at the time. It's 6 o'clock, and he's like, alright, I gotta meet up with all my for training. So he body flickers to the beach, and he's been standing there waiting a bit, and he sees Deku just suddenly appear, and he's like, oh, young Midoriya, you kind of spooked me a bit. He's like, oh, sorry. And almost like, it's fine. So, should we get into our training? And Deku's like, yep. So, what's our training? And All Might says, well, you are going to be cleaning out this entire beach. And Deku's like, that it? Is that it? All Might's like, yep, pretty much. The faster you get through with this, the more real our training will get. And Deku, he says, alright. And so Deku, he cocks back his fist and he punches at one of the washing machines that were just there. And the washing machine just pretty much caves in on itself. And Almost like, God damn, I thought I punched pretty hard. And Almost just thinking to himself, what if I had my injury while fighting this kid? And if he punched me right there? And he's almost like, yeah, I don't want to get hit right there with one of these kids' punches. And so, Deku, he's pretty much just carrying these heavy ass objects like it's nothing. Because, he got that super strength going. So, Deku, he's grabbing stuff, putting it in on the truck. And pretty much within let's say a couple of weeks, he got everything loaded into the truck and had it sent off. And Almost like, damn, that was quick. Now, I guess it's time for the real training, I guess. All Might says as he gets into a fighting stance. And Deku also gets into a fighting stance. So, Deku and All Might, they get into a fight. And All Might's starting to realize that this kid's fighting kind of like me in a way. I wonder if he's seen a lot of me fighting. Because, Deku, he's throwing a lot of heavy ass punches. But I would say Deku's getting a bit of the upper hand simply due to Tsunade being a martial artist and All Might just using pretty much brute strength to brute his way out of a lot of things. So yeah, him and Deku, they're still going at it. And yeah, they're pretty much just ripping up pretty much all the sand out the freaking ground. And pretty much caving in everywhere they punch at. And so, yeah, they keep fighting. And they've been fighting for a good while now. And, with them fighting catches the attention of a certain someone as she so happens to be walking by. And it's Jiro. And so she so happens to be walking by the beach and see this kid fighting All Might. And, she looks a little closer and she sees that it's Deku. And so, she kind of sits by the bleachers just watching the fight, even though it's kind of hard for her to watch since, they're moving so damn fast. And so, after a while, both Deku and All Might are just on the ground huffing and puffing like, that was a pretty good fight, All Might. He's like, you too, kid. You can hold up on your own, but you could use more technique in your fighting skills. And Deku said, yeah, my mom pretty much just brutes her way out of a lot of things. And Deku's almost like, I guess I kind of do the same thing too. But don't worry, if you're heading to 1A, you can just pretty much learn from one of our best, Aozawa. He's pretty much one of our best martial artists there. He could probably teach you a couple things. And Deku's like, thanks, All Might. As, they're still huffing and puffing on the ground. And, Jiro, she walks up to Deku, who's on the ground, still huffing and puffing. She's like, are you okay? And Deku's like, yeah, I'm just out of breath, he says as he's trying to get up. Or he uses the 100 healings on himself to refill his stamina and stuff. So he's back up and almost like, damn, kid, I don't see how you do it. You just keep getting back up. And Deku's like, yeah, it's my quirk, he says in an awkward way. And so, he helps All Might up and he refills All Might's stamina too. And Deku, or All Might says, alright, kid, you already showed me that you're pretty strong. And so, All Might pretty much is telling Deku about One for All. Jiro, she's not really paying attention to the conversation, even though she should, but she's really not. She's just pretty much doing her own thing. And so, him and All Might are just talking. Deku's like, oh, okay, okay. And All Might's like, yeah, so do you want my power? And Deku's like, nope. And All Might's like, uh, excuse me? And Deku's like, no, I don't want your quirk. But I think I can see someone who could need it, he says as he looks at Jiro. And she's like, huh? Because, she wasn't paying attention. And almost like, yeah, I can see some potential in her. And Deku's like, alright then. And Deku, he walks up to Jiro's like, hey Jiro, how about you train with me and All Might? And she's hyped for this because, she's training with the number one hero. And so, yeah, her and All Might just training for a bit, but, she's not as strong as Deku, so she's pretty much just getting tired. But, Deku, he helps her out a bit by refueling her stamina and stuff. So, yeah. Time skip. Let's say, how long was the wait? Like 10 months? Yeah. So, 10 months. Deku, he gotten a little bit stronger. Like, sure, him and All Might would still be fighting to a standstill, but Deku could technically just keep refueling his stamina and eventually win. So, yeah. So, Jiro, she's three times as stronger in canon. Just because I want to make her overpowered. Because who wouldn't want to make Jiro overpowered? So, yeah. And she gets one for all. Oh, it's over. It's done. It's done. And so, yeah. And she can handle, let's say, 3 to 5%. Yeah, that's a good start for right now. 3 to 5%. And so, yeah, Deku, he pretty much is on his way to UA. And on his way there, he sees Jiro there. And him and Jiro, they pretty much say, send their regards, like, hope you make it to UA. And so, yeah, they both head in. So, yeah, that whole interaction with Uraraka and Deku tripping, that ain't happening. So, yeah. So, Deku, he's walking to take his seat, and he's sitting next to Bakugo. Him and Bakugo, they dab each other up. So, yeah. Because remember, Bakugo, he ain't as much of an asshole. And I put a lot of emphasis on as much. So, yeah. He's tolerable. So, yeah. And so, Deku and Bakugo, they're not really paying attention to what's happening. And they're just pretty much talking and stuff. And, RoboCop Ida shows up saying, y'all can't be talking. And, Deku's like, would you mind your own fucking business? And Ida's like, I can't believe you talk to another kid like this. And Deku's like, oh, okay. What are you going to do about it? And Ida's like, I can get you in trouble. And Deku's like, how? I didn't do anything. If anything, I feel like you were about to interrupt this man before he could finish what he was about to say. Weren't you? And Ida, he looks at the paper and he's like, yeah, how'd you know? Yeah, I know. It's called a zero-pointer robot. It's a good reason why he didn't mention it, because it's not worth any points. So he probably wanted us to avoid it when we saw it. And President Mike, he's like, yeah, that's pretty much what I was about to say. Thanks for saying it. Because I can tell this kid's a bit of a stickler for the rules. And Deku's like, yeah, I guess you could say something like that. So, Ida, he's pissed. He sits back down. And, Deku, he sit back down. And so, yeah, President Mike, he finished up talking and stuff. And, Deku, he sees Uraraka kind of like spazzing out a bit because she's nervous. You don't know if she'll make it a 1A or not. And so Deku, he walks up to her, tap on the shoulder like, "Hey, I see you're nervous." And she's like, "Yeah, well, why wouldn't I be? It's 1A, the best school in the whole world, or the best hero school in the whole world. So this would be a good opportunity if I can make it." And Deku's like, "Yeah, I guess if you think of it that way, that would be nerve-wracking, but try not to think of it as that. Try to like zone everything out and just focus on you rather than trying to focus on everything else." And she's like, "I guess." And, she kind of calmed down a bit. He's like, "All right then, I'll see you in 1A," he says as he walks off. And so, yeah, Deku, he gets into his line, and President Mike shouts go, and, they all head off. And so, Deku, he's pretty much destroying a good amount of robots. And, within, I'll say, a good 20 minutes, he already at around 65 points. And Deku, he's like, I could rack up a couple more. As, he destroys, a few more 3-pointers, giving him around 80. So, yeah. And so Deku, he's like, I guess this 80 is a pretty good number. I should probably let everyone else have some fun. He says as he was about to walk off. And, he hears, or he feels steps like something big is about to come out. And so every time it stomps, earthquakes just keep happening. And the ground is just shaking and shaking and shaking. Deku, he don't know, or he hasn't felt anything like this in a while. Or he hasn't felt anything like this unless his mom is mad or something. So, yeah. And Deku, he's like, what the fuck's going on? And so, yeah, he body flickers to a nearby building, and he sees this big-ass robot. And Deku's thinking to himself, like, is this the 0 point they were talking about? How the fuck we supposed to avoid this thing? And so, he was about to just get out of there because it's 0 points. It's not worth it. And, he sees a couple people stuck in the rubble. And he sees Jiro and Uraraka. And he's like, shit, I gotta get him out. So, he body flickers towards him. And, Jiro, she got herself a good amount of points, but, she kind of, went a bit overboard and kind of broke her leg a bit. And, Uraraka, the thing is pretty much on her back, so she can't do anything about it. Just having a boulder on her back, that's not going to help nobody. So, yeah. They're pretty much just stuck. Deku, he body flickers there. He lifts the rubble off of both of them. And, he heals Jiro's leg and heals Uraraka's back. And he says, are y'all able to move? And they're like, thanks. And Deku's like, no problem. Now, get out of here. And they're like, what about you? And Deku's like, I'm about to take care of the big robot. And they're like, are you crazy? How you gonna stop that thing? And Deku's like this. He says as he jumps up really, really high in the air. And he pretty much does what he did in canon. Did a Detroit Smash, but it's not a Detroit Smash. It's just him punching the robot really, really fucking hard. Except, he doesn't break his fucking arm. So, Deku, he's pretty much spinning in the air. And he does a superhero landing as the robot completely explodes. So, yeah. Jiro and Uraraka, they're like, whoa. Deku, he dusts off his hands and that's how you take care of a robot. Now, let's go over to Recovery Girl. And Deku's they're like, but didn't he already heal us? And he's like, yeah, but, we gotta let the heroes do something. And they're like, yeah, I guess. As you know, they both head to Recovery Girl. And Deku's like, yeah, I got a good amount of points. Gerald already know you are at like 70. With a rocker, I would say she had like 50 something. Just because she's been actually trying. So yeah. And Deku's like, hope to see you at 1A, he says as he body flickers out of there. And so yeah, I'm gonna end it right there. Tell me what you guys think. Leave a like, comment down below, subscribe. I guess my new milestone is 2K now. And so yeah, I guess that's the grind right now. And so with that being said, I'm out. Peace.
Shit, I'm back and I'm better than ever. I be dripping no matter the weather. Need more green in my salad, I'm extra. Bunch of hoes in this house like you Hefner. Bunch of gold in my mouth and shit pressure. And I swear I won't fold under pressure. And I'm 10 toes the maximum effort. And I keep me a stick of Beretta. And I got me a bitch like a Retta. Yeah, you got shots, but my shot it better.